Welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap podcast. This is JR alongside my regular par, Skumba. Where are you?
Yeah, there, looking forward to another debate where we look at things from all angles and we examine it and we ask you to comment, share.
Well, the news hot for the week, the big thing, the big talk, the Klansman trial, What do you think?
Well, it's a lot, it's frightening some of the things coming out in the media, some of the things that we are seeing now, social media all over the place. But interestingly, a case is a case. We have to see the outcome. So right now, it's a lot of talk about what's happening, but the credibility, and as I said, really the outcome, the final say.
Whose credibility?
The judge.
Whose credibility?
Well, there's a particular witness or a number of witnesses that are pretty much on stand or would have given statements or testifying, and that is pretty much what is being circulated now in terms of the news media publishing a number of things that have been said. But I'm saying that, they really have to look into the facts that normally there's...
It's a bad man turn snitch.
Well,
Informer.
I can only say, there is also going to be a cross question and there's going to be some amount of questioning as it relates to credibility. So it sounds that way that they definitely have somebody on the inside that is giving information,
Well, there's no secret. Him saying he was a part of the Klansman, he was next to Black Man. But I think my biggest problem with this trial is not the information that is coming out, because for whatever reason, another popular YouTube vlogger had revealed some of these information that we see now coming out in the trial. My biggest concern really is whether or not anything will come from this. 30 people on trial. I'm trying it already. And we see where only Tasha Miller ended up being in jail for this. So,
well,
I mean,
never
what kind
knew
of
that
credibility
it
you talk about at the end of the day? Because the same Black man was on trial, even though it come out in the court now, so he's the one boasting about pulling the trigger that killed the JUTC chairman, but at the same time he walked free.
Well, I can't really say what will happen. That's that's even more speculation than just reading and trying to put pieces together as to what is coming out. But really and truly, like with any trial, you can't say, whether or not this case is going to see 5, 10. I mean, to me, 30. I'm not sure if the previous one had as many as 30 persons.
I don't think there were 30 persons that were on trial then. But it was still a number of persons from the Klansman gang at the time. Now this trial has broken into two, where it's the One Dan gang, or whatever they want to call them name, whatever they want to call themselves, with Black Man as the leader. 30 people on trial. And unless there are changes to the way how things is done in Jamaica, because right now Jamaica look like an artist Netflix series,
Well, a number of things.
What is happening in Jamaica is a serious Netflix series. But separate and apart from that, unless things change where plea deal or plea bargaining is going to be on the table for enough of them bad man to come out and talk, I just think a waste of people time.
Well, I can't say
9 day one
based on what you
it
just
soon
said.
get stale again and we're back to normal and man start dead again and
Well, man, I did every day.
Big man
I did every
what
day.
I'm saying?
But what I'm getting at is, if you say Tasha Miller is currently from the previous case, then even if it's one, I mean, if there is truth to it and the person is indeed guilty.
Who pull the trigger, go back a road and can boast about it, no.
That is
Him
again.
can't get charged for the murder there again, cause double jeopardy law prevent him from being charged again for the murder.
Speculating that everything that we are hearing.
Oh, so you don't believe?
No, I can't say it is so or it is not so. What I'm doing is waiting on everything to be brought out in the court, and then based on everything, then you can know whether or not everything. Because I can't say whether or not it is so. As you said, Tesha Miller has been held accountable for that particular murder, but you're saying that based on what is coming out now in the court, it is being said now that it's actually black man that pulled the trigger or is boasting about it. But this is coming from a witness, and this, as I said, have to go through some level of scrutiny. So what
you try to tell me, sir, right now is that the witness that the government have as one of the main persons that is going to help their case, you not too sure, yes, if him information is hearsay or because it come from him and there's no real proof because a black man pulled the trigger, then we have to take it with some amount of skepticism.
This is what I'm saying. It's the normal process anywhere in the world through a standing court or an established court. You're innocent until proven guilty. So there must be some, because it's hearsay. I mean, yes, it is that it has come out that this man has given.
All right.
This man says that he has given guns or weapons, rifles at different times to the police.
Right.
So I guess there should be some level of way of evidentiating what he said. But at the end of the day, it still have to stand up in court.
Yeah, the man
for
scrutiny. Big word. The man gone evidentiate. I want to look up that meaning of that word.
It has to be put that there are some things that can be used because take nothing for granted. This man is saying that he was a gangster.
Use big word for trying to
turn not trying to.
Yeah, but anyway, go on make your point.
How are you going to know if what he's saying is true? You're just going to take everything that he says. This man says that he was a gangster, so he was with them. So what has he done? You have to bring out. Or is it that he's coming on now on the basis of what he's been offered? Has he been offered anything?
We don't know.
Exactly. So you said there is no plea bargain, but what would make this man comfortable in saying what he's saying?
What is said is that he went to the police to offer them this information and them run him away. When them go to the police and say, yo, hear me, this thing I get out of hand, I only need to lock up them money. Policeman say, come out of my place and go on where you go. It's not until the bad man call him on the phone and him put them on speaker so the police could hear what the bad man I say. And I say, but wait, where this money, how this money get phone in the cell with him there when him not supposed to have no phone? At them time the police take him serious. My question is, are there going to be any repercussions for his role that he played in it? Or because right now he's been looked on as somewhat kind of a hero, a good guy. But him did in the mix. Him did involve in the fuckery.
So what are you saying now then? So are you saying that he should be handled the very same way as the other?
No, me not say that. But
because now you're going to have persons who want to talk probably no longer wanting to talk.
I want to know what is his deal. What them offer him? Film come out and attack. Remember the story come out for say well then, he willingly came to the cops with this information. All right, all good and well. But what about the role that he played in having persons killed, hurt? Do we just sweep that under the carpet?
Well, we don't know if he had played any role in having persons killed.
They not tell him in a testimony, he must say him not gun give man.
Well, all I'm saying is this. As you said, play a role in having persons killed. You say man not gonna see something that says that him lead the police to a particular weapon and him take it up and he said that it was for cleaning. And he led the police where guns are being handed out. But as it relates to him particularly killing or being instrumental in having somebody killed, that's a whole different story. That's much more of a greater concern.
So you believe to say him go come out and say, yeah man, they don't know Sir John Tam, my virgin tractor, my virgin where. Who
you say?
You know what I say? Some man, him not go come out and say, yo, they don't know Sir John Tam with dead pan run over Homestead there me because of me, man.
But you said this is the same man that is saying black man Say he put a hole in
course.
a man that them a brag about it. So
But
that
that
is
a
what
black
I'm
man,
getting.
him a talk about what everybody else do.
So are you
but he
saying
was
that?
right next.
But
as
are you
far
saying
as
then
what
that
we know.
they should not take his testimony any at
No,
all? Because
of
no, so
course,
he's not going to
of
talk
course.
about himself
Of
based on
course,
what you're saying, but
of
he's willing to
course.
talk about other people.
Of course,
So
we have
doesn't
to
that
take him
show that
testimony.
issue then with his credibility then?
No, we have to take him testimony. Alright. There's no way any goody two shoe I gonna know what a black man I do. I must be somebody who next to him. But I'm saying, in order for you to be next to black man, Virginia must have step on crime too.
Step on crime?
Yeah.
You mean him a solve crime? When you say step on crime, what
But
do you mean?
I go and see it. First him gone with him evidentiating. Now him a
You
talk
say step
about
on
him not know
crime.
what-
So step on crime a big word too? Are you saying,
No. It's a term that is used to say, well then you're committing crime also. So if he was so close to black man, I'm saying, is this guy, what was his role? He was just there to stop.
Well-
He was just there to stop these criminal activities, or was he there initially partaking in the criminal and benefiting from the criminal?
I can't say whether or
activity?
not he was actually doing anything, but if it is that his statement, his testimony have any credibility, if it is that what he's saying can be proved and it can be borne out in the courts, I think that it is not so much of a bad day in Jamaica, because if persons are at this particular level of closeness to a black man can come out and be willing to give testimony, then if we are saying that we want justice, if we are saying that we want peace, if we are saying that we want something to be done about the state of crime, it is going to take persons, brave persons like this man, to come out and be willing to cooperate with the justice system in order to...
We also need legislation that we're going to put in place, plea bargaining arrangement.
Well, that is true. If it is not
So if
currently, we have to get that as
the
well.
only way, and
we have to have proper place of providing security, providing safety for persons willing to come out.
Jamaica not big enough for have witness protection, and the corruption with the inner Jamaica turn up like to another level. So witness protection is never normally in a Jamaica.
Well, there must be some way
so
of
that is not an
safeguarding and protecting, because we don't want persons to feel intimidated or fearful incorporated. And I'm still saying that if what is coming out in the media, if there's any truth to it, and if this man is really as close or was as close, whether it be that he felt guilt or his conscience spoke to him, whatever it is that made him come about and willing to participate, I think that he should be commended if there's any truth to what he's saying.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're saying that the end, the means justify the end. Then, if it results in these guys being incarcerated,
this is one of the most problematic. This is one of the most problematic location, area, environment that you can think about, in Jamaica, where we talk about where this particular Spanish town, the Klansman operated. They're not the same. Wait, because back a few years ago when the great Renato D. Cordova Adams was running Spanish Town, the killing wasn't so much. What I'm saying is that this is definitely a big dent. Just to have these 30 persons and to have who is said to be the leader, and of course Tesha Miller being already.
But man still at the Spanish Town, just to say.
Man still a dead, but obviously there is a dent. There has to be a dent. There must have been a dent. And there must have been information now coming out that the security forces have acted upon for these persons to be where they are currently.
Alright, one little last thing before we wrap this up is actually the big revelation will come out. Well, they must say, yeah, my Vibes Cartel put a hit on Papi. Well, the man never called Popcorn name.
It's not out in the media, the news media that.
But a popular YouTube vlogger actually did put that out there a couple months ago. Now we have this witness come out and say, what them call him C4. That's what the popular blogger dub him C4. I said, yo, you know, a true thing. What you think?
I don't know. As I say, it has to do with credibility and everything has to go through its scrutiny. It has to be borne out in court that this man is, you know, speaking some truth. And I don't want to say evidentiate, but there has to be something that can put
back again
what he has said
evidentiate
to be likely so, not even likely so,
Make
but to be
sure
so.
on the
Because when you
Google
come on
it,
to
you know.
murder, you have to.
It was, no,
I think you understand. I don't want anybody to be questioning your intelligence. Because obviously, you're beyond Twitter, you're beyond. So it is, I mean, everything can be Googled. But the fact of the matter is, when you're talking about whether or not it is so or what I think, again, it has to be with credibility. So it's something that has to be borne out in the court. I'm looking, listening like everybody else, reading as much as possible. So I really
so
don't
you
know.
not believe
I mean,
it? You not believe it?
believe it's not about belief at this point for me, because if Cartel is currently behind bars for murder,
But
has
remember,
been convicted.
this information came out months ago.
Popcorn,
where it
but
was
this
said
is a
that
vlogger.
this-
We don't even know who this person is. I mean, there have been. I mean, anybody can. If anybody can put up anything on Wikipedia, anybody can put up anything on YouTube.
So
The
you
thing
not
is that
believe
I
it
am.
then? You not believe?
I
You not
can't-
believe? You not
listen.
believe the popular
This is
blogger?
what I'm saying. I don't know if this man have particular information. I don't know where this man getting information from. So far, it look like it seems to have some credibility because a particular producer that he spoke about shortly after has been also arrested. So I don't know if there has been some coercion or something, but something just seems, as you said, is that Jamaica is on Netflix in the last couple of months.
Seems
It's just
like me. I wonder which
I don't know
episode-
which series are, I don't know what next,
Yeah,
but we just
but-
keep hearing and we just keep being in tune. But really and truly, as it relates to this particular issue, it's difficult to see the pre-effect of the now debunked or the now.
Defunct.
What you said already?
Defunct.
Oh, defunct. Alright. So the now non-existent
Portmore Empire.
Gaza Empire.
Gaza
The pre-effect.
Empire.
And this is
Yeah.
probably, would say, the leading person now that there's no. Popcorn is a name to reckon with right now in the music fraternity. So I don't know. I can't say it is true. I can't say it is not. I don't know. It's difficult.
Once again, this has been another episode of Bridging the Gap podcast. I am JR alongside Scum. Tell us what you think. You know, do you think anything is going to come from this trial, or is it a dawning of a new day in the Netflix series called Jamaica? Tell us in the comment. Like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you share.